Welcome to Stonk Insights, your one-stop shop for stock and crypto analysis and discovery. Hope you guys are doing great out there. If you're new here, please consider subscribing as I do talk about stock, talk about crypto. We have been talking about Ethereum Classic as of late, and that's still going to be the flavor of the month. Pretty much we're going to be talking about Ethereum Classic probably at the beginning of every video. I may not just keep it with just Ethereum Classic content, as I do want to play around with some of these decentralized applications and show you guys, the ins and outs of going through these decentralized applications. But at the beginning of every video, I think we will at least touch on Ethereum Classic, for as long as I'm in it. So before we do that, I do want to just kind of give a brief overview of the cryptocurrency landscape. I think it's been a week since I did my last video, so we're just going to take a look at everything. So whole cryptocurrency market cap is a little bit under 1.5 billion. It's been a little bit over $53 billion in trading volume in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin is still the dominant cryptocurrency at 45.2%. You can see Bitcoin is still kind of trading in that channel between 32,000 and 36,000, I would say. Just been bouncing up and down from there. It's about going above that for a short period of time and going below that channel for a short period of time, but it's still been rocking in that channel from 32,000 to 36,000. So we go all the way down here to the number 19 spot. So we're still in the top 20 here. We have Ethereum Classic. So it is down from my last video. We see we're at 49.43 here. But again, we're still in the top 20. See the market cap has went down. I believe it was around 6.3 billion when I was checking this out about a week ago. When we see now is at 5.7. This is the real shocker here. I mean, we see that the volume that Ethereum Classic was having, last week, it's still pretty high within this range. Okay, so 1.7 billion is nothing to scoff at, but it was doing triple this a week ago in the $4.3 billion ranges and whatnot. I'm just going to take a look at the portfolio here. Robinhood. Now, I just want to say this. Obviously, this isn't decentralized anything. This is my Robinhood portfolio. So if you're looking at this and saying this guy doesn't know anything about decentralized finance, this is just my Robinhood portfolio. Most people have a Robinhood portfolio, and I just like the visualization of how Robinhood does their things. Okay, so I can't take this off in a wallet. I can't use this Ethereum Classic anywhere else. It's just within this Robinhood ecosystem, but it's about making money. So if this shot up to $1,000 a coin, doesn't matter if I can take this off or not. I could take the actual value of it off. Okay, but that's neither here or there. We do see that Ethereum Classic's down, so I'm only up about $22, under 5%. When we've seen me go as high as 23, 24%, and I'm not selling because we're going to go through some articles, showing some more bullish news. So that's the purpose of this video. Before we get into that, though, I do kind of want to set up, the article that I want to get into. So it's about Charles Hoskinson. I'm sure you've seen these articles floating around, but what I want to do is take you back from August 1st, 2020, and just move forward to the new news about Charles Hoskinson, okay? And if you don't know who Charles Hoskinson is, he is one of the co-founders of the original Ethereum, which is Ethereum Classic, along with Vitalik Buterin and Dr. Gavin Woods, okay? So that three amigo trio, and there was more, they made Ethereum, but obviously in 2016, which I've talked about in other videos, it forked. And Ethereum Classic is the original Ethereum, and Ethereum that we know of today is the number 2 cryptocurrency. Okay, so like I said, let's start from August 1st. All right, and we're talking about Ethereum Classic here. So we go to August 1st, in the whole month of August, 2020, Ethereum Classic was hit by 3 51% attacks. Okay, pause. So let's just go real quick to what a 51% attack is. Okay, so a 51% attack is when a single cryptocurrency miner or group of miners gain control over more than 50% of a network's blockchain. So this in itself doesn't sound too malicious, but what can they do once they have control of that blockchain, okay? Well, those responsible for a 51% attack, they have the ability to exclude new transactions from being recorded. They can modify the ordering of transactions. They can prevent transactions from being validated. Pretty much a lot of shady stuff with these transactions over the blockchain. They can block other miners from mining coins or tokens within the network. And this last one is a doozy. They can reverse transactions to double spend coins. And an example of that, a double spend scenario would allow someone to pay for something. So you could pay for something with Ethereum Classic, then reverse the transaction after the fact. Who's left out in the dirt? Well, that's the seller. The seller lost their product and they didn't get any of the cryptocurrency, okay? So this was problematic for Ethereum Classic, right? Obviously, there were exchanges that didn't like this. Coinbase, for a short period of time, had like a 2-week hold on buy and sells of Ethereum Classic. There were a number of exchanges that were threatening to take Ethereum Classic off their exchanges because of these attacks, okay? So that's where the story starts. This story starts with these vast 51% attacks that happened in 1 month on Ethereum Classic's network, okay? We come here. So this is, in the same month of August. So Charles Hoskinson, he proposed like a treasury protocol, okay? Which, let me just break that down. So pretty much what he was proposing was to take 20% of all miner rewards and put it in a separate wallet, okay? And this wallet was going to be used to further the development of Ethereum Classic blockchain and entice other decentralized applications to build on Ethereum Classic blockchain. Now, in the short term, what's going to happen? In the short term, miner rewards are going to go down, obviously. If we're taking away any 20% of the rewards, they're going to see 20% less rewards, okay? In the medium term, you're going to clean up the network. You're going to see, a more secure network. You're not going to hear of any 51% attacks, which is going to scare, these decentralized applications from wanting to build on your network. And then 3, you're going to increase the amount of miners on your network. If you have more applications on your network, more interaction on your network, you're going to have more individuals wanting to mine on your network, okay? So that was what Charles Hoskinson was proposing with this treasury protocol. Unfortunately, at the time, the Ethereum Classic community was divided over this, okay? They weren't sure that they just want to ape in with Charles, okay? They pretty much, like in this article, they said they didn't need Charles Hoskinson's bailout, which unfortunately for Ethereum Classic at the time, if they would have did what I'm going to show in this article earlier, we probably could have seen a more ramped up version of Ethereum Classic, but that's neither here or there, okay? At the time, who knows what was going on, and how they looked at Charles Hoskinson, who is currently the founder of Cardano, if you didn't know that. But let's just keep going, So this brings us to today's news, which shows that Cardano's Charles Hoskinson joins the board of directors at the ETC Cooperative. So what does that mean? Now he's just on the board of directors with the likes of Barry Silbert, Cody Burns, Elaine O, Roy Zhu, and Craig Salm is all a part of this Ethereum Classic board. So this is very bullish news, in my opinion, for Ethereum Classic, having Charles Hoskinson come all the way back around, and now he's on the board for ETC, okay? And this is hard to read exactly what's going to happen, with this, but, obviously this is great news having him, within the ecosystem. So later in this article, it just talks about some of the things I've talked about before with the upcoming hard fork of Ethereum Classic. So this hard fork is similar to Ethereum's Berlin upgrade that happened earlier this year, which is going to help with the security of the network by simultaneously saving users on gas fees, which is important. We don't want to be feed out like how Ethereum is right now. Gas fees are ridiculous. So this Berlin upgrade coming to Ethereum Classic is supposed to help with that. One thing I want to mention that is not a part of this whole article, just going back to these 51% attacks. The one main thing about these 51% attacks is that there are not a lot of miners on the blockchain. Okay, so these are miners that are coming to cahoots to take these malicious actions on the Ethereum Classic blockchain. So this is just something I want to mention at the end of this video. We have the upcoming Ethereum 2.0 EIP 1559 proposal is happening in August, right? Once this happens, that's going to change Ethereum to a proof of stake consensus and not a proof of work consensus. So where does that leave all these Ethereum proof of work miners? One thing that's not being thought of is that Ethereum and Ethereum Classic both mine off of the ETAS algorithm, meaning that if you have an Ethereum miner currently right now, you won't have to sell it, you won't have to get rid of it, you won't have to junk it, you don't have to turn it into a gaming computer. You can use that same Ethereum ASIC miner or Ethereum mining software, and all you have to do is start mining Ethereum Classic, since they're already mining off of the same algorithm. So that's just one thing to take into consideration, that that's going to happen. There's going to be miners that are going to continue to mine. Instead of mining on Ethereum, which they won't be able to do, they're going to move on to Ethereum Classic or another coin on the ETAS algorithm. What that's going to do is going to bolster up the hash rate on Ethereum Classic, and it's going to in itself help prevent these 51% attacks, because the more mining power, the more miners is on a blockchain, the spread out, then it won't be easy to create a 51% attack, because you won't have 51% consensus to do these attacks. Hope that makes sense to you guys. It's just something I was thinking about when I look at this and I see about the 51% attacks. The biggest thing that pushes out to me is that they're saying a single miner or group of miners. This has to be a small group. It's not a large group. It's not a group the size of Bitcoin miners. Even though Bitcoin has the ability to be 51% attack, it's a lot harder with the more miners that's on the blockchain mining Bitcoin. The same thing for Ethereum. There's a bunch of miners on the blockchain mining Ethereum, so it is hard to coordinate a 51% attack against it. So in my mind, once Ethereum 2.0 comes out in August, those miners, even right now, I believe those miners are already thinking, how can I get out of this and start mining Ethereum Classic? Which obviously the more miners in Ethereum Classic is going to be have more allure for these decentralized applications. That's money that's going to be on Ethereum Classic, and these decentralized protocol makers, these developers, they're going to be eyeing that, and they're going to be seeing that. So you're going to be having, obviously, those are going to be sticking to the proof of stake, and that's cool. That's DeFi for us. You can do what you want to do, but there will be some that will go to the proof of work, because that's going to be this here. Bitcoin is proof of work. Bitcoin isn't looking to move into any other type of consensus model, and as of right now, Ethereum Classic is not either. So Bitcoin and Ethereum Classic will have the proof of work in common. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that what I just went over today, is bullish for Ethereum Classic? Just going through the history, can you kind of see how, it was looking kind of bleak a year ago from now, but how it's built up till July 9th with Charles Hoskinson coming on to the board of ETC. My opinion, this is great news. I am an investor at Cardano. So, I know who Charles Hoskinson is. So, hearing his name being reassociated with Ethereum Classics, because again, he was one of the original co-founders of Ethereum, which is now Ethereum Classic. So he's back with his baby, in so many words. So whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comments below. Like I said, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you're from the ETC community, definitely subscribe. As the more of us that's together, we can talk it out. We can see what's going on with this coin. And I'm not saying that I have all the answers. I'm out scouring other YouTube channels, other articles and things, just so I can get a piece of just the smallest amount of knowledge, so I can become more and more ingrained in this ETC community thing that we're doing here. So whatever your thoughts are, thank you guys for coming along. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.